Very good afternoon, madam. It is my great pleasure to welcome our resource person, Dr. K. Sharada ma'am, with the topic Intelligent Tutoring Systems. Dr. K. Sharada ma'am currently working as Associate Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department at the Geetham in Visakhapatnam. She holds a master degree in Computer Science and Engineering from JNTUK Kakinada in 2010. She has received PhD degree in 2018 from Andhra University. She has 14 years of teaching experience. In addition to teaching, she has taken in various administrative roles. Her research interests in educational data mining, learning analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Thank you, madam. Now I am hand over the session to Dr. K. Sharada, ma'am.
Sir, please let me know my screen is visible.
Madam, your screen is visible, madam.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, madam, you're audible, madam. Yes, you're also visible also. Did you share your screen, madam?
Sir, am I audible?
You're audible, madam. You're audible. Did you share your screen, madam?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. You're audible.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. You are audible, madam.
Okay.
Ma'am, you can share your PPT, madam.
I'm trying to share it, sir. I have some issue here.
Okay, okay, madam.
So there's some problem, sir. I'm not able to share the PPT. Sir, would you mind, shall I share it in the WhatsApp?
Yes, madam. Yes, you can share, please.
Bye. Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Some settings I need to change, which I am exploring. Actually, it may take some time, so that is why I have asked you to share.
You can tell me, madam. I can press next slide.
I'm very sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Please proceed, madam. Thank you. Please.
Please visit in slideshow manner.
Raja, go to slideshow, sir. Slideshow on this end.
Yeah. So in today's session, I would like to introduce introduce to a research area called intelligent tutoring systems. So the topics that I'm going to discuss in today's session are introduction to educational data mining, followed by introduction to intelligent tutoring systems, and then the basic architecture of an intelligent tutoring system, and the significance of a particular module called student module in the intelligent tutoring system, and some influential intelligent tutoring systems and how they work. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss in today's session. My idea is to make you aware of the research area in this particular domain. So can you please go to the next slide, sir? So basically, educational data mining, it's an interdisciplinary research area, and in this particular uh, uh, area, we are going to explore the data that is being generated in an educational setting. The educational setting, it could be traditional classrooms, or it could be an e-learning platform, or it can be an intelligent tutoring system. Whatever may be the educational platform, the data that is generated in these platforms are being analyzed in educational data mining. So the purpose is to make the learning student centric. Uh, uh, which will enable the student to have a better learning experience. So that is the whole purpose of mining the educational data, extracting knowledge from the educational data. Next slide, sir. Next slide, sir.
Here it shows, madam, like research areas of education data mining.
But here
But Rajaragar, you can see only introduction to educational data mining. I think better you share the entire screen, sir.
Now, okay, madam?
okay, sir. So
Okay,
the
madam.
research areas, some of the research areas of the educational data mining. So the data that is generated will be used for mining purpose, and with the help of this data, we can identify the factors that are going to influence the performance of the student. Like the common factor which we all know is attendance. That is why we make it mandatory for the students to have a certain minimum attendance for the class. And the engagement, the involvement of the student in the learning. These are some of the factors that are known to us. So apart from these factors, what factors are going to influence the student performance? So that we can identify uh, uh, by analyzing the data that is generated in these educational settings. And not only that, we can predict the performance of the student. That is whether the student is going to be successful in completing the course or not. We can also predict the dropout students. We can also predict the CGPA of the students. So all these kind of predictions we can do with this data. And not only that, we can personalize the learning. Uh, Personalize the learning to individual level. How this is going to how this can be done, we are going to see in the subsequent slides. And the next is improving the teaching material, improving the efficiency of the teaching material that is being used for teaching the students. So all these are some of the areas uh, in which we can work and apply machine learning algorithms in order to improve the uh, uh, improve these particular aspects of the educational data mining. Okay. So next slide. Okay, intelligent tutoring systems. See, in traditional classroom, the teacher follows a specific method of teaching because the class is a combination of different group of students. It's a heterogeneous group of students. So the student follows a moderate pace of teaching and the moderate level of uh, uh, learning material will be provided to the students. Okay. In 1984, Benjamin Bloom, he defined a problem called 2 sigma problem. And according to this, if a one-to-one instruction is being provided to the student, that is one faculty, one student. So if we could provide a one-to-one instruction to the students, then it has been understood that the performance of the students improves by 2 standard deviations. What exactly that means is, if we compare the students who are who has undergone a traditional classroom instruction against the students who have went through a one-to-one tutoring, then it has been observed that an average student from the tutoring system is going to be on par with top 2 percentile of the students who underwent the traditional classroom instruction. So it's going to be a remarkable improvement in the performance of the students when one-to-one tutoring is being offered. That is, the student faculty ratio is 1-to-1. That is, for one faculty, one student. In an ideal situation, that is the best way of learning. Best learning happens when the student faculty ratio is 1-to-1. But one-to-one it is highly impossible to provide one faculty to one student. So that is the reason why an intelligent tutoring system has been provided, which is going to address this particular problem. Sir, can you please go to the next slide? Basically an intelligent tutoring system is a computer system which is going to provide a one-to-one tutoring to the student. And in this one-to-one tutoring, the teaching happens on personalized manner. That is depending upon the knowledge level of the student and depending upon the pace of learning of the student, the tutoring happens. So this is a computer-based system which is going to simulate a human tutor. And this intelligent tutoring systems have been pursued by several decades by various researchers from education field, psychology field, and artificial intelligence field. The operational intelligent tutoring systems, which we are going to see now, are going to offer practice-based instructions to students, and these can be used for corporate training. They can be used for training the students in the school and the students in the college as well, and they can also be used in military training. So some of the intelligent tutoring systems we are going to see in today's session. The next slide, sir. Okay. So the architecture of the intelligent tutoring system has 3 main modules. The knowledge module, student module, the pedagogical module, and the interface. Through the interface, the students or the learners are going to interact with the system. So these are the 3 modules. You name any intelligent tutoring system. These are the 3 modules. On top of these modules, additional aspects, additional features will be added. But these are mandatory to almost all the intelligent tutoring systems. So we are going to see individually what these modules are. and how they work together in order to offer personalized tutoring to the students. The first module is student module. So next slide, sir. The first module is student module. The purpose of this model is to assess the performance of the student. See, in the normal traditional teaching environment, normally learning happens followed by assessment. Whereas in this intelligent tutoring system, learning and assessment happen side by side. So while the student is learning, parallelly assessing also happens parallelly along with the learning process. So when the student module is responsible for assessing the performance of the student, and followed by domain module. So the domain module, in the domain module, the subject expert is going to prepare the teaching material that has to be provided to the student. The teaching material is prepared, and the computerized teaching material is being prepared, and it is available in the domain module. So what content need to be taught to the students, and the relationship between those concepts, that is which concepts are prerequisites to which concepts. So all that information will be available in the domain module. So next slide, sir. And there's a module called pedagogical module. That is how do we teach the student. That is what teaching material should be provided to the student, and what teaching material should be provided to the student depends upon the understanding of the student, the performance of the student. So the understanding of the student will be available in the student module. The material that should be taught to the student is available in the domain module. So this pedagogy module, it is going to interact with both the student module and the domain module, and is going to provide the and is going to provide
help பண்ணுவால படிக்கிற விஷயம்
to provide personalized learning material to the student. And for this purpose, Bayesian networks are extensively used in all the modules. In the earlier days, now they have now we have moved from deep neural networks, Bayesian networks, whereas in the earlier intelligent tutoring systems, wherever decision making has to be made, then all the decision making process used to be implemented by means of Bayesian neural network. Bayesian. Okay, the next module is the user interface. That is how the student interacts with the system. So the student could interact with the system through textual manner, or through answering the questions, through giving answers to the problems that are being asked. So the student is going to interact with the system. So these are the main modules. So all these modules will be there, and what machine learning algorithms are used in each of these modules, and how the modules interact, and the additional modules apart from these are going to differ from your tutoring system to tutoring system. So next, sir. So finally, the data that is generated from these modules is used for analyzing and understanding the learning process of the student, because this is a student to one student to system learning. So the system should understand how the student is learning. So that understanding of the student learning is very much important. So from that, it is going to make decisions like which topics are clear to him and which topics he has difficulty. All these aspects can be studied, and he can be provided more and more material onto the topics in which his understanding is low. So all this the system can do, that is the pedagogy model can do, by analyzing the data that is coming from the student module. And this can also be used for improving the teaching material that is being used. Not only for understanding the student learning, we can also improve the teaching material that is being used for teaching the student. So this is the place wherein analytics are being used, and in this particular session, I'm not going to individually give any particular algorithm or any particular approach. I'm just trying to give an overview of how the things are, how the activities are inside this particular intelligent tutoring system. Okay, so next slide. So among all the modules that we have in the ITS, the student module, it's like a heart of the intelligent tutoring system, and extensive research is being done in this particular module, and it is ongoing still. And in the why the student module is important is, see, the whole purpose of ITS is for personalization, and this personalization can be done effectively by understanding the student. So the student, the entire student performance is being represented by this particular student model. So basically the characteristics that the student module need to assess is the knowledge level of the student, and what are the errors or the misconceptions he has. Some students normally have some certain misconceptions related to a particular topic, and because of that, probably they may be doing the problems in an incorrect manner. So finding out those is also one characteristics, and another characteristics is cognitive features and affective features and metacognitive features, which we are going to see in detail. So these are the some of the characteristics, that is the characteristics of the student that need to be modeled in the student module. So next slide, sir. So this is a representation of overall the features of the student. The student characteristics, it can be in terms of knowledge, affective features, cognitive features, metacognitive features, and errors and misconceptions. Individually, we will see what these are. So next. So knowledge level. Knowledge level is if suppose the student, if suppose the tutoring system is trying to teach a particular skill to the student, so what is the prior knowledge of the student before the skill is being taught to the student? What is the prior knowledge of the student? And after teaching the skill to the student, what is the knowledge of the student? That is current knowledge. That is after learning the skill, the knowledge that is being assessed is current knowledge, and the knowledge that is being assessed before to learning the skill is called prior knowledge. So what is the prior knowledge and the current knowledge? There should be an improvement in the current knowledge. Only then we can say that the teaching is effective. So the knowledge level has again two components called prior knowledge and current knowledge. And next is errors and misconceptions. That is the misconception, that is misunderstanding of the concepts. So whatever the misconceptions he has, the student has. So a record of that is also important, because see, if we maintain the record of that, only then we'll understand, the system understand why he is doing the mistakes. So he is doing mistakes continuously on a particular set of problems, then the underlying reason is to correct the misconceptions. So okay, so that characteristic of the student also should be recorded and modeled. Next is cognitive features. That is cognitive features, again it has certain subset of features, like what is the attention span of the student, and the ability to learn. So the ability to learn, attention span of the student, they change from student to student. The concentration levels of the student, the memory, the retention, how good he is in retaining the learned knowledge, and how good the student is in solving the problems and making decisions. So all of these come under cognitive features, and these are independent of the skill. Uh, Whatever may be the skills they are trying to learn, these aspects are common to all the skills which need to be modeled. And next is the affective features, that is the emotional state of the student. The emotional state of the student is equally important, because if the he is emotionally sound, he is positive, then the learning happens in a much better manner. So emotional state of the student, that is whether he is in a positive state or in a negative state. So if he is doing mistakes repeatedly, then we need to understand the underlying cause of the mistakes. So for that purpose, we need to model even the affective, that is the emotional state of the student. And next is metacognitive features. And in metacognitive features, like self-awareness, self-assessment, how the student is able to understand his own learning. That is managing his learning, how good he is, where exactly he is lagging. So that is self-awareness. The self-awareness is going to again change from individual to individual. Some students may be good enough and some students may not be. So understanding the self-awareness of the student comes under metacognitive features. So all these need to keep it. We need to keep in mind before we design the student module of the intelligent tutoring system. So next. So next is robust learning. Learning, we say that it is robust. That is, it is the best learning, provided if the learned skill is going to remember for long time. That is long-term retention of the learned skill or knowledge, and how good the student is in applying the knowledge to a new scenario, applying the knowledge to a new situation. So that is transfer of knowledge to a new situation. So that comes under transfer aspect of robust learning. And accelerated future learning. See, the future learning happens provided the prior learning is in place. That is, the prior skills, whatever is required. If the student is completely aware of the prior skills that is required for understanding the complex skills, only then the student is able to understand the complex skills. So that comes under this. Next is, yeah, please. Next, forgetting. And long-term retention, that is able to remember the knowledge for a long period of time, is very much important for robust learning. Only then, if he could remember it for a longer period of time, only then he can transfer it, that is apply it to a new situation, and he can learn complex skills. And that is one aspect of our brain. And another aspect of the brain is forgetting. So forgetting is a natural process of our brain. For that matter, even in the learning, uh, forgetting is, that is, we are not able to recollect what has been learned. And with the passage of time, this forgetting increases. Forgetting of the learned knowledge and forgetting of the learned skills, it increases as the time goes on. So, in 1985, Hermann Ebbingen, he did an experiment on the forgetfulness. And for that experiment, what he has done is, he has prepared 3-letter words and 3-letter nonsense words, that is meaningless words, and he tried to remember them. And after doing that, after trying to remember them, he has tried to recollect them over a period of time. So next slide. So he has plotted this slide. You can see here, as soon as he has memorized these nonsense words, that is 3-letter words, he tried to immediately recollect them. He's able to recollect all the words. After 20 minutes, when he tried to recollect, he could recollect only 60% of the words. And as the time progressed, then after 31 days or so, he could recollect only 20 or 30% of the words that he has learned. So next slide. So what that indicates is an average learner is likely to forget uh, on an average 70% of what they have learned in the first month. And this forgetting is more if the learning that is made is not meaningful and it is not logical, then the forgetting is of more percentage. So in order to retain the learned skill for a long period of time, reviewing or relearning, that is repeating whatever that is being learned, that has to be relearned again and again over a period of time. Only that way he can retain it for a longer period of time. So next slide. So the best way, from this experimentation, it is understood that however good the student is, or however good the learner is, for sure the learner is going to forget whatever he has learned. So in order to avoid that, or in order to minimize that, we have to frequently practice the skills, already learned skills, over a period of time. So how frequently we have to learn them? That is, for that Ebbingen, he has come up with a formula on how frequently we have to revise the learned skills. And in that formula, the three aspects that are being considered is the strength of the memory, that is going to differ from person to person, and how much time has been elapsed after the initial mastery, and how many repetitions of he has done. So the retention of the learned skill, it depends on these aspects. Sir. So in order to develop this student model of the intelligent tutoring system, one need to keep all these aspects of whatever I have discussed now. All these aspects, all these characteristics of the students need to be kept in mind when we are designing the intelligent tutoring system. So how the student behaves, how the learner behaves, and how our brain remembers the things, how it is going to, and we normally consider forgetting as a bad aspect, but it's a natural phenomenon. So, and how to cope up with that, so that the learning that is being made is a permanent, that is, it is going to be a robust learning. And these are some of the aspects of student module. So I'm not going to the technical details, because in order to go to the technical details, one need to have a complete understanding of all this. Only then, if the technical aspects will make sense. Okay, now I'm going to discuss some of the popular intelligent tutoring systems that has been developed in various domains. One such is Anders, and it has been developed in order to teach physics for the students in Naval Academy. And they have used Bayesian networks. I have been telling you, like, almost all the intelligent tutoring systems are being modeled using Bayesian networks. And SQL tutor is another tutor, and this is developed in order to teach structured query language. And this also uses in earlier versions, they have used Bayesian networks. Now they have moved on to deep neural networks, and these are used for understanding the student, that is, understanding the performance of the student. Performance of the student means many aspects, which we have seen now. Next, sir. And another intelligent tutoring is Shikshak. It's from India, and this particular tutoring system is being designed for the school students. And in this, the teaching material is being presented to the student based on the teaching style of the student. Every student have their own teaching style. Some learn the instructions by visual mode, some learn it by instructional mode, and visual mode. So different depending upon the teaching style of the student, the Shikshak is going to present the teaching material to the student. And another intelligent tutoring system is assessments. It's a web-based mathematical tutoring system. And this is an open source tutoring system. The data that is generated from this is available publicly, so that the researchers can investigate and then understand the learning process of the student. And in this is mainly for tutoring mathematics problems to high school students. And according to this system, the problems are being presented to the students. And if a student could answer 3 subsequent questions correctly, then it is understood that the student has mastered the skill. Next, sir. Next slide. So another tutoring system is auto tutor. And this auto tutor is designed for college students in order to teach the basic concepts of computers, such as hardware operating systems. And sir, please go to the next slide. A picture of this, the interface of this is being shown. Yeah. So this is how it is going to look like. A picture of a tutor can be seen here. The concept is shown in an image form, and a question has been asked, like how does the operating system interact with the word processing program when you create a question. This is the question that has been asked to the student. The concepts of operating system and word processing is assumed to be discussed in the class by the teacher. And now we are trying to understand, we are trying to assess how good the student has understood the concept with the help of this system. So then you can see here in this interface, the student and the system is interacting through text. So natural language processing is being used for interaction between the student and the system. And the system has asked a question, and the student has responded to the answer to the question, but it's a correct answer, but not complete answer for the question that is being asked. So then the tutor is trying to probe more questions, like the human tutor, while teaching the student, he's going to ask more questions related to the topic, so that the understanding of the student improves. So likewise, the tutor is also trying to ask more questions, so that are giving hints to the student, so that he's more oriented towards the correct and complete answer. This is how the auto tutor works. Sir, next, sir. This is Anders, and it is used for teaching physics. And you can see here in this interface, a question has been asked, like 100 kgs. What is this? Midshipman doing marine training is descending from a helicopter when his release mechanism jams. What is the tension in the cable when he is suspended from? So this was the question that has been asked. And for this question, so in order to answer these questions, he need to understand the question. For that, he has written the information that is being provided, that is variables, and he has given the answers like this, and the values of those variables and the formulas that he has used to solving the problems. And this interface has been designed like this. So next, sir. So I will conclude. Assessment. Yeah, please go to the next slide, sir. Since we were almost 350. So next slide, sir. So till we go to the interface. Next, sir. Yeah. So in this is an assessment intelligent tutoring system. In this tutoring system, it is used for teaching mathematics to the students. And you can see a question has been asked, and the student has to give the answer. And here he has 2 choices. Either he can calculate the answer and give the answer, or if he is not the problem is not clear to him, he can ask the tutoring system to break up the problem into steps. So then individually, that is called as scaffolding questions. That is simplifying the problem into steps. Again, the system is going to break the problem into steps, and stepwise he has to give answers. And that is how a human tutor teaches the student. So it's a simulation. Intelligent tutoring system is a simulation of a human tutor. So exactly how the human tutor teaches the student, that way it does. And while doing this process, the system also assesses the students, like what skills the student is good in and what skills he is lagging. So next slide. So another is this SQL tutor. So please go to the interface, the diagram part of this. Yeah, in this SQL tutor is mainly for teaching the SQL queries to the students. And actually this is a constraint-based tutoring system. And in this tutoring system, you can see a problem has been asked. And because in a SQL query, these are the mandatory clauses. So those are being given here. So he's going to use them and solving the problem. So you can see here, to answer this question, he has not given the answer correctly. So the system has given a reply that there are some mistakes in this, and like, will you go to do you wish to answer next problem? So this is how the tutoring system works. And you can see here the student model is going to assess the performance of the student, and the domain model. So all the material, all the learning material, if it is an assessment system, all the material related to problems, that is the problem, the answer to the problem, and in case if the student is not able to give the answer to the problem, then the sub questions, then the system need to give. All that, everything should be provided in the domain module. Actually, because of that, the building the intelligent tutoring system is taking a lot of time. So now research is on improving the on developing the developing the systems which are going to speed up the knowledge building process in the domain model. So now currently the research is in that particular area, and several people doing research in that area are being awarded with prestigious awards called as authoring tools for speeding up the building of the intelligent tutoring systems. So now through this session, what I try to tell you all is the overall area related to educational system and the problems in this particular area, and the current research and the past research, the current research, and the future. In future, like you can see, actually when they started developing these models, they started developing these systems for one particular area. If it is physics related problems, information will be provided with the system. If it is with maths related knowledge will be provided with the system. Now now the research is like building a system which is going to offer knowledge related to all kinds of subjects. So this is one area, and another area is how to speed up the development of the intelligent tutoring system. Actually, it has been tested that if the student is taught through these intelligent tutoring system along with this along with the human teacher, the performance of the student is improved remarkably, and it has been showed in almost all the intelligent tutoring platforms. So now the research is on how to speed up the building of the intelligent tutoring system so that more and more are made available, and which will help in improving the student learning process. So with this, I will conclude. If you have any doubts, you can raise your doubts.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, this is Lata from Savita Engineering College. Ma'am, you said metacognitive model. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
It is similar to assessment, ma'am, self-assessment.
It's a self-assessment. Like in our new educational policy of our country, they have made the assessment a 360 degrees assessment of the student in the school education, and in that the student has to assess himself. Apart, the student has to assess himself. The student will be assessed by the teacher, and the assessment, like when he's apart from the studies, when he's interacting with his fellow classmates and how he's behaving. So assessment from his peers, his or her peers. So all of that will be considered, and by clubbing all the inputs from all these people, a 360 degrees feedback, a 360 degrees assessment of the student is being done.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, any questions, participants?
We all being in educational domain, I thought that this will make sense to us because we regularly deal with students and the learning process. So domain knowledge, we have the domain knowledge required for us. We have the complete knowledge related to the domain. So I felt that this probably may be an interesting research area.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, are you getting my voice, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, ma'am, this is Dr. S. Vasagi from JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukkottai, ma'am. Ma'am, this research has dealt with dyslexia students, ma'am.
Actually, I didn't go into the details. Slow learners,
Yes.
we have different groups of learners. Like normally, students with issues, ADHD issues. ADHD issues
Yes.
also, we have again several aspects. So one aspect is dyslexia. So there are studies that are being made, and this intelligent tutoring system is going to benefit them a lot because it's a one-to-one tutoring system, and it is the system understands the difficulties of the student. So, so for them, it will be much more useful.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. This is Bhagyashree, ma'am, from Mumbai. I found this topic very interesting. So I just wanted to ask, in your research area, have you prepared the complete live working model for this, ma'am, for the student model?
Actually, preparing the student module individually will not be of no use. We have to prepare the complete system.
Okay.
And preparing the complete system, it is going to take years together.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the complexities that are involved in this. And in my work, what I have done is, like, some of them are The data sets and the sum of these are publicly available. For example, assessment.
Okay, so it means it's a statistical analysis.
Yes.
Okay.
So it can be statistical analysis, and if the data is small, then we can do statistical analysis. But if more and more people use the system, then the data that will be generated will be large. Then we need to apply machine learning algorithms. And what I did is, like, I took the data that is generated from an assessment intelligent tutoring system, and I did my work on that particular data. So to start with, we can try that way, because understanding the system, because I took the pain of putting everything in the form of a PPT, because and to put it in this form, it took me years, because understanding it is very difficult.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
It's not that simple. Actually, I have given a higher level view of the system. If we go into the inner details, it's not that simple. It's too complex.
Yes.
So I just want, if you want to try in this area, you can start with the data. You can take the data and then try to analyze the data, and then slowly, over a period of time, you can plan to build a system.
System, yes. So which programming is suitable for this?
I did it in Python. It's our choice,
Okay.
madam. Like, some of the systems are being developed using Java, and some are being developed in whatever the systems that I have shared in my PPT. Some of them are being developed in Java, and some of them are being developed in Python. It's our choice.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Participants, if you wish to interact with madam, you can unmute yourself and can interact, please. Sharada madam, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Rajaragar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. K. Sharada madam, for sharing and give us an efficient presentation on the topic intelligent tutoring system. We get more awareness how this system can be implemented in such an innovative way. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, madam. Have a nice day.